Good afternoon and welcome back to the Ryman Healthcare Arena at Nine Bowling Club for the third and final session of day two of the Ryman Healthcare Champion of Champions finals. And we are bringing to you on our TV rink the women's pairs final. We also have the women's singles final and the men's singles final taking place on the green. But the feature game for you this afternoon is this women's pairs final between Victoria's Helen King and Sarah Takamo and Tawa's Linda Raymer and Isabel Hassel. I'm Brenton Vannisselroy. I'll be commentating for you this afternoon, and I'm joined by Blake Signal, the GM of Bowls Wellington. Very good afternoon to you, Blake.
Good afternoon, yeah. Thanks for having me on.
You happy with how everything has been going so far?
Yeah, no, it's been running pretty smoothly, you know, the whole weekend, so really good.
Yeah, just going through a bit of my notes as well. I think there's a chance we could have 10 different clubs picking up the 10 titles over the weekend, which would be quite incredible. So far today, we've had Tawa pick up the men's triples and Plympton pick up the women's triples. That was after Petone Central won the women's fours, Miramar won the men's fours, Wainui-Amata won the men's pairs, and the men's junior singles went to Silverstream, and the women's junior singles went to Johnsonville. So it's been shared round so far, and Victoria were hoping to, third time lucky for them. They've been in a couple of finals.
For sure, yeah. These two played the final of the fours yesterday and had heartbreak with the last bowl loss there. Petone Central drew the shot with the last bowl right to the ditch. It was an incredible game.
Yeah, it was. We've been absolutely spoilt so far with thrilling finishes. I know all the players on the rink today will hope they're not going to be in for something like that and make it a bit more straightforward. But we've had some great bowls action over these couple of days. We hope this will continue selfishly, and those neutrals watching on as well.
It looks like Tawa have started pretty good here.
Certainly have. Linda Rayner off the front and Isabel Hassel skip for Tawa. Sarah Takamo here trying to slip in between those Tawa bowls. Helen King's interested. Didn't quite have the weight to reach, unfortunately. Not far away. And indication there that Tawa still holding shot. Linda Rayner passing on to Isabel Hassel.
Got four very good draw bowlers here in this game, so the heads are going to be pretty tight, I'd say, right throughout. Linda's exceptional off the front, and in fact she's almost a professional lead these days. And Helen King, well, she's won more titles in Wellington than most. I think there's Judy in front of her, and that's about it.
Simple instruction there from Helen King. Just a bit more weight for Sarah Takamo there. She was not far away with her previous. Cut it to one for Tawa. Just an extra foot of weight needed. She can grab the shot for Victoria.
She looks to be in a good line here.
Yeah, interested again is Helen King. Gets a rub off a couple of bowls her own, and then one of Tawa's to fall right onto the jack. Beautifully played.
Very good shot.
Can Isabel Hassel grab it back for Tawa?
Close too. Oh.
Unfortunate there. What a great opening end. One taken away. So maybe even a couple here for Victoria. Yeah, there's two.
Yeah.
So well played, Victoria. Sarah Takamo taking it back for Victoria on the opening end. So they lead 2-0 over Tawa. One end played of the 18 in this women's pairs final. On the rinks alongside, we have the women's singles final is underway between Marlene Alberino Kay of Island Bay and Nicole Toomey of Stokes Valley. And the men's singles final also on the rink just alongside us. Graham Ross of Whitby up against Brent O'Hearn of Titahi Bay.
That's quite an interesting final, that one there, because Brent's still a junior as well. So
wow.
He's, I think he made the semi-final of the Champ singles last year as well, and didn't quite get to the final. So he's done one better so far, but he'd be looking to go one more again and try and get the title this year. And Graham, I won't lie, I don't know a hell of a lot about Graham, so but he's been playing very, very good bowls, and to beat Steve Ditford, one of our Wellington rep players in the semi-final, it must be showing that he's got some good form on at the moment. So it'll be a good game, that one.
Yeah, he came from behind as well in that semi-final. Steve Ditford, I think, was a couple away. 19-16 lead, I think it was, from memory. And Graham Ross chased him down to win 21-19.
Linda's just very consistent at lead. Like, I've been watching her in the first game today, and she was just drawing very, very well, and it looks like she's found her length straight away again here. So we could be in for a real cracker of a game here, because there's some good bowls going to be played, I'd imagine.
Yeah, if it's anything like the first end replicated throughout this match, we're in for an absolutely cracking match. Played this morning, did both of these pairs, their semi-finals. Victoria at 15-12 winners over Johnsonville, and Tawa 16-9 winners over Miramar. So they had a couple of practice ends before getting this final underway. Bit of movement, I think, next door or behind the rink. So stepping off the mat, Linda Rayner. Good home for that final bowl of Linda Rayner. If there's any jack movement, good work from the lead, gets a couple close and then one in behind.
For sure. Yeah, look, you know, if you are going to miss in a game of bowls, you want to be missing behind the kitty. Just opens up all your avenues for your skip to be able to play shots. So I know when I'm skipping, I never mind if my lead's a metre over. It's always a bowl that can be used later on.
Yeah, as we saw in the previous final, the men's triples final. Great final bowl played by Lyle Bay. Unfortunate for them. Jack trailed back to on the deeper bowls on the rink of Tawas. So Tawa, the men's triples winners. Thrilling final end has become the...
Great shot there from Sarah. Like,
beautiful.
Yeah. Sarah's been consistently one of the best bowlers in Wellington for the last few years. I think I couldn't tell you how many Wellington titles she's won the last couple of years, but it'd be a fair few, I'd say. And yeah, she just seems to get better and better.
Yeah, both her and Helen King are at the stage where you lose track of how many titles you've got, especially when it comes to club titles.
For sure.
As Blake mentioned, both Helen King and Sarah Takamo were in the Tawa, the Victoria 4, excuse me, that beaten yesterday by Tony Central in a thrilling women's fours final. And they certainly had all the centre winning experience on their side, but Tony Central got up. Thrilling final bowl to decide it. Looking to go one better here. they'll be in for a big tussle with Linda Rayner and Isabel Hassel.
Yeah, I'm just looking at Isabel here. She's had some very, very good results the last few years, especially in the championships at her club. So she's been bowling since 2009. So she's got a bit of experience under her belt as well. So
you won't be daunted by the occasion.
no.
And we saw it earlier in the previous men's triples final that inexperience didn't seem to matter. It was a great final played by the young trio from Lyell Bay, all juniors, taking it down to the final bowl and their final as well. Tawa though getting up.
Well, I was really impressed with the way that Lyell Bay team played, and especially the lead. He looked like he was frightened almost in the game. But man, did he play some really good bowls. You know, he had some real good shots on the head right throughout. So big future for that club. That club's just been promoted into the Premier Division and Interclub. So I think there's a real buzz around Lyell Bay, around what they're creating there. So it's really good to see clubs thrive like that.
See where one's taken away. See where it's more than one.
Got the good old finger measure out.
Yeah. And now the proper measure is going to come out, follow. Alan King to do the honours.
One to Vic.
Yeah, one more to Victoria. So that Tawa bowl is the second. So it's 3-0 now. Victoria leading Tawa after 2 of the 18 ends. This is the women's pairs final. Third and final session of day 2 of the Ryman Healthcare Champion of Champions finals. We have the women's singles final being played as well between Marlene Alberino Kay of Island Bay and Nicole Toomey of Stokes Valley, and the men's singles final also taking place on the rink alongside. Graham Ross of Whitby up against Brent Ahern of Titahi Bay. And we'll no doubt get updates from Brady Amer throughout the session of those scores. Bit of an easier job for him this time, just the 2 other games taking place rather than I think it was the 5 that were taking place earlier in the second session of the day.
Yeah, it was. He's been doing a great job, Brady. Not just doing the scores, but all around Bowls Wellington too. You know, he's really been working hard with college kids and our rangatahi throughout the Wellington region, and reaching more of these kids than ever before. So it's been really, really positive, the work he does. He's a great asset to Bowls Wellington, and
Yeah, you must have seen in your time over in Australia the great potential there is to develop young players, because that's where Australia just has an incredible amount of young players, don't they, coming through the game.
Yeah, it really is incredible there, and they're lucky in the fact that they've got the club systems in place that they can actually, they do it for the country really, you know, whereas here we're really having to do it at a centre level, trying to get more participation through those avenues. The clubs just aren't big enough to sustain the academies that you see over in Australia. Yeah. So Brady's been really instrumental. We've created a rangatahi rookie squad this year, which we have 22 young people as part of that squad at the moment, and they're going to be getting proper qualified coaching. We've even been talking to a sports psychologist and trying to get specialised coaching for all of these people to try and help them in the game of bowls. So yeah, we're really putting a nice emphasis on that youth side of the game.
That's great to hear. We had Brady in commentary yesterday. Good to hear from him too.
He's quite a modest boy, Brady,
he
too,
is,
so he probably didn't speak a hell of a lot about it.
Didn't talk it up too much, that's for sure.
Yeah, No, he's been leading that hugely, and I've only been in my role for about 8-9 months now, and I'm sort of just letting him run with what he's got because he's put so much work into it and he knows exactly where he's at and what he's doing with it. So really encouraging. We actually had a rep trial for under 19s the other night here at Nine and the quality of play from the 16 players that turned up was just incredible, and it's been good to see. I think we've had one of them played this weekend, young Jaden, in the semi-final of the junior singles, but we'll be seeing those players reach this level more and more frequently, I think, over the next few years.
Yeah, that's awesome. So it's the Helen King bowl just tucked in behind the jack, which is certainly the shot bowl. So Sarah Takamo certainly the happier of the two skips as they make their way to the mat. Thank you, Helen. Must be hard for some of the players who haven't done too much of the live streaming games to get used to the cameras and get out of their usual routine where they stand. We appreciate them doing what they can when they do remember that the cameras are there.
Yeah. Sometimes the game takes hold of you and you forget about it, even when you've done it a fair few times. Trust me.
Exactly.
Yeah. Sarah's just put another one on there. That's
bit close, but should be second. Close second. Isabel Hassel will have something to say about that, no doubt. Her first. This third end. Pretty handy. Is just going to
just go past.
And the rain are wanting it to slow down. Probably the second though. Not quite a full length in, but close to it. Probably a good 35 metres playing here. Almost 2 metre to 2 metre.
Which is quite different to the last the final of the women's triples, sorry. Plimerton who I'd say probably upset Nine. Played very short. They were just getting it over that front mark, so they were playing.
Yeah, I saw the measure come out a couple of times next door.
So
it worked well for them. Obviously unsettled the home club. Because that would be a big advantage of playing here regularly, wouldn't it? That you get to play on this full length, which doesn't really exist anywhere else in the region. So if you are Nine, I no doubt they were trying to do the opposite.
For sure, yeah. No, it's definitely a big green. My mother-in-law, who's just started bowling this year, she came down and watched my daughter, who was part of the trial the other day. And she couldn't get over how big the green was. She's like, that's not a real green. And I was like, yeah, that's how big some of them are. So it is quite a monster when you walk in and you haven't been used to it before.
And Lorena just confirming 2 down and potentially 2 in a measure.
It's looking like there's a shot there on the forehand just under, which is sort of describing there, just under Linda's front bowl. Try and trail the kitty back. Maybe sit on one of the 3 shot bowls. It looks to be just a tad tight there.
Yeah,
the right
you can see by that little gesture from Linda Rayner that wasn't on the right line, unfortunately. So 1, 2 taken away for Victoria. And I think they're going to measure for the third. They will. Going to the Tawa bowl first. Now we'll check out this Victoria bowl, which may be a touch closer now, coming to that back bowl.
3.
I think Linda Rayner wanted another look at it before quite giving that 3.
That's a tape measure that's seen a few games of bowls by the look of it.
3 confirmed. So a good start for Victoria. 3 ends played. They lead 6-0. Helen King and Sarah Takamo over Linda Rayner and Isabel Hassel. Still early days, and as we saw just moments ago in the men's triples final, Tawa had an 8-0 lead over Lyle Bay, and Lyle Bay chased them down, and in the end actually had a 4-shot lead themselves with a couple of ends to play.
I was very worried in that game that it was just going to sort of blow out there at 8-0, and Simon and Pett played some really good bowls and helped settle the lead into that rhythm. And like I say, the lead played exceptionally well. I can't remember his name just off the top of my head, but I thought he played exceptionally well.
Yeah, Jamie Morgan, just his second year as a bowler as well.
Yeah,
very close to winning a centre title in his second year. Very unfortunate, but yeah, we remarked, Barry Jordan and I in the commentary, just how composed they look. Even when they were down, they didn't seem like they knew they were still early and they could get themselves back. Great maturity for such a young bowls combination. 2 fourth-year players and 1 second-year player.
For sure. And I think Simon just recently made the junior rep team for the first time. So I know Pett's been in there a few years now, a couple of years. But yeah, Simon just got picked the other day. We named a team for the WKWM, which has been played on the 6th of May in the Wairarapa. So definitely bodes well for Wellington Bowls having a player of that calibre just making his debut for the junior team. So
yeah, it certainly does. And great potential for Lyle Bay in particular. 3 young men coming through their ranks. And obviously they would have all played quite a key role while they're back in the Premier Division.
For sure, yeah. I believe Pett was playing the singles for most of the year at Lyle Bay, and I think he only dropped 1 game during the whole season. So in that Division 1 competition, which is a pretty tough competition these days. We have Titai Bay and Petone Central, who have a lot of very experienced players in that division as well. So it was really remarkable how Lyle Bay came through. And they've got some really great key players that play for Lyle Bay. You look at Marty Martin, he's playing there, Raymond Martin's father, and he's worked a lot with those juniors. But you've also got Jim Maitland and John Toohill, who very good bowlers as well, and Brian Petherick as well, who's been around for a long time, and so a lot of good players that they can actually gain a lot of experience from there. So it's a very forward club, I think. This is a bit sprayed from Helen here.
Yeah, not quite found their range this time round. Both leads. Certainly plenty of room for the skips to work into. Just trying to work out who's got shot. Don't think it's really going to matter.
The way Sarah's been drawing, I'd say it's probably not close enough. They've gone rather full length again here, haven't they? Bit of a tactic from the experienced pair, maybe.
Seems to be.
In the right sort of area here.
It's too much weight, I think, unfortunately. That might go all the way into the ditch. Yeah, So far, Victoria not looking very comfortable with this length, despite deciding to play it. Still a couple of bowls for Sarah Takamo to play, of course. That's the first from Isabel Hassel. Come up well short as well. And a pretty decent head playing this kind of length, playing the other way. Struggling a bit, coming back to our commentary position.
She's definitely adjusted on this bowl here.
That's in a good line, isn't it?
Hasn't got the weight, no.
No. Overcompensation there. So brought back her weight just a touch too much. As you hear from Helen King, beautiful line. Just not the necessary weight to be in contention. Now trying to follow that line is Isabel Hassel. Is this one going to hold up? I think this one might stay on the green, perhaps. It does. Suggesting that seems to run away
by the sound
if
of
you're
it.
a bit past by what they're saying. So just calling for a tiny bit of extra weight, not much. Don't think this is going to have the weight either. It'll be a bit further than the last and probably going to be good enough for shot.
Oh, that's
potentially.
Close.
From our angle, it looks like shot, but it's always deceiving, the camera angles, especially from the shorter bowls. Always look closer than they are.
Is this going to come in?
No, it's
or roll
not.
the bowl? That might be enough for shot.
That might be the difference. Might have done enough. Yep. Yeah, it has. So now it's just whether it's more than one. And the Rainer will do the honours this time.
Yep. Far more modern measure by the look of it. Lovely pink one there.
Go back to the Helen King bowl, I think, first, and then we'll go to the Sarah Takamo bowl. So they're on the board Tawa. It's just well, they've got one or two. It's obviously relatively close.
Yeah, it looks like it is a lot closer than. No.
They couldn't decide between them, so an umpire will decide. It's between the wide bowl there of Linda Rayner and the bowl right on the centre line, but short from Sarah Takamo.
This is Ron Wood. He's a Stokes Valley member, so he. We're trying to work out how long he's been playing bowls earlier today, and we think he's about a 9th year bowler, 10th year bowler. But he's got right into the administration side of bowls recently, and he's one of our key tournament organisers, runners, managers, sorry, and does a lot of volunteer work for us with helping us run our events.
So important to have people like that at clubs, isn't it? They're invaluable.
Absolutely vital. So, and he loves doing the umpiring stuff. He is absolutely enjoying it. So, and he's a nice, relaxed character, and seems to get on with all the players really well too. So it makes it a lot easier when you've got an umpire that's relaxed and
Not too officious.
Not too officious, but yeah, he knows all the rules and he's really, really good. So
looks like that is just closer.
yeah.
He's going to make sure. Could be 2 here for Tawa. Yep, indeed it is.
Yes.
So 2 to Tawa. They are on the board on the fourth end. 6-2 now in this women's pairs final. Victoria, Helen King and Sarah Takamo leading Linda Rayner and Isabel Hassel of Tawa. Very close, obviously, between those two. Needed the umpire called on to make the decision. Important shot for Tawa. So now, interesting to see what length they play here. Victoria last couple of ends played very long. I would be surprised if this goes too deep. Much shorter.
Yeah. It's probably a more conventional sort of 3/4 length on a normal green, so
no doubt feel more comfortable with that length. Linda Rayner.
all right. I have an update here. So Brady's texting them through to me. We've gone modern now.
We've taken a big step.
Yep. All right, and in the men's singles final, Whitby have Graham Ross 13 and Brent Ahern from Tite Bay 4. 13-4 to the Whitby player. And in the women's final, I don't want to sound too biased here, but I'm a little bit happy. Nicole Toomey from Stokes Valley, 14. Playing Marlene Alberino K, 5 from Island Bay. So Nicole Toomey is 14-5 up over Marlene from Island Bay.
I was going to say, there can't be too many Champion of Champions events where Stokes Valley don't pick up a title.
Yeah, I think over the last few years, definitely there's been a bit of a good run of Champion of Champion events for the Valley boys. And Nicole, I think Nicole's picked up a couple as well. Nicole and Cherie, Brian. Last year, actually, Birdie Love won the Champion singles. So we are technically defending the Champion of Champion singles there.
As I mentioned at the top, it is great that so many clubs have had success so far this weekend. 7 different clubs picking up the 7 different titles. If Tawa were to go on here, they would be the 8th different club. And both the women's and men's singles finals involving clubs which have yet to pick up a title as well. So could have 10 different winners, which is simply remarkable.
I'd be surprised if that's ever happened before.
Yeah.
Like we'd have to go and have a look at that in the records, but you normally find there's a club that will have a couple of winners at least. So yeah, it's brilliant that it's been shared around this year. It's really good, and it good for the depth of Wellington bowls to have more and more clubs taking titles and performing well and putting pressure on the elite players too. That's always a key. That was a wayward bowl there.
I don't know what went wrong there. It was with Tawa previously in the men's triples. Players there played for a number of years. Big goal was to win a centre title, and now they've achieved that, which is fantastic. Well, no doubt, be great for the club. Get more and more players involved, looking to emulate their club mates. Know that if they have success at Tawa, they can go on to win centre titles too.
Definitely, and it's been really encouraging this year. We've had record entries for our open singles and open triples events this year, so more people are wanting to play in those events, which is brilliant for bowls, because they're fantastic competitions, and it gives everyone the opportunity to win these titles. Great shot here from Isabel Hassel. Just went past. I thought that was looking really good.
Yeah, unfortunate there. I think Alan King's still holding on. Shot. Big round of applause for the men's singles final next door between Graham Ross of Whitby and Brent O'Hearn of Titahi Bay. As Blake mentioned before, Graham Ross is leading that one. Wasn't far away with her previous Isabel Hassel. Looking to emulate that.
Just a bit quick, this one.
We have another chance. Sarah Takamo with her second. This fifth end. Alan King urging it in. The touch wide. Looking to get a bowl in between her two previous.
If she's got the weight here, she's on a great line. It's just going to pull up on her.
Unfortunate. Yeah, she found the right line. Track was good. It's not enough weight to change the situation. I think they're just holding the one here, Victoria. But a chance for Sarah Takamo to make it two.
Seems like if you get a little bit wide out there, it just seems to hang a touch. It's, not
something we've definitely picked up over the last couple of days. Seems to be quite a thin corridor where it's successful. So one more to Victoria. So they claim that Jack and Matt back. We'll see if they go that full length again they had previously. So that's 7-2. 5 of the 18 ends played in this women's pairs final. This the third and final session of day 2 of the Ryman Healthcare Champion of Champions finals. Well, no, it looks like they're going.
Oh, they've gone to the more
mid-length. What Tawa just played. Deciding they may be more comfortable at this length after all. Bit of movement again. Linda Rayner stepping off the mat, resetting herself, finding her target. And again on the forehand side. Doesn't look like she's going to have the weight here. It's going to finish a bit short, but right back to that centre line.
A bit of bowl from Helen King there.
Yeah, applauded by a skip.
This one's looking better too.
Yeah, great correction with the weight. Finish up pretty much jack level. Still favour the Alan King bowl, but the rain is not far away. Oh, another good bowl from Alan King. That's certainly... Well, it's a touch-up. Beautifully played. Falling in. Rainer will look to make just a slight adjustment, come inside her previous. Weight was good, try and replicate that. Just going to get a touch on her bowl and just come round.
She's finished in handy home there, so it can be used by Isabel Hassel.
I suppose it's been a bit of a pity we couldn't get outside these 2 days, Blake, but it's great that we have a facility that we can use like this.
Absolutely, yeah. Look, the idea was that we were going to be playing outside until I looked at the weather forecast about Wednesday and went, oh dear. And we had a lot of rain on Friday night and early hours of Saturday morning, and it just totally waterlogged the greens out here. Great shot from Sarah there, hides the kitty away on that forehand. Might make Isabel play with a bit more weight on her forehand here actually, I think. On her backhand, sorry.
Looks a touch narrow, might run into those shot bowls.
That's a very good effort.
Yeah.
There. Probably snuck up for second shot too, following through on that. So
yeah, I thought initially he was looking to draw, but certainly was looking to get connection to those bowls, just short of the jack.
very good bowl here. Great shot from Sarah Tacoma there. That makes me wonder why they're not playing more bowls down there.
Yeah.
They definitely seem to favour this forehand coming up towards us.
Yeah, that's been the case throughout these 2 days. No one's really trusted it as much. They seem to think that it's not as consistent on this side. Backhand side playing towards us. But yes, Sarah Takamo making a mockery of that.
Quite often bowlers will do that. They'll just try 1 or 2 bowls down a hand and think that's it. It's not worth playing and give up on it straight away. And sometimes if you just move your foot on the mat a little bit, it might just give you that right line to the kitty. So she looks a little wider with this one.
So looking to attack this with a bit extra weight.
She makes contact on her pink bowl onto the head. Not quite.
Far away, so it should be 2 here to Victoria. 2, confirmed. So some great bowls there from Sarah Takamo there, coming on that tricky backhand side. So 9-2 it is now. 6 of the 18 ends played, a third of the way through this women's pairs final. And Victoria in control, still very much early days.
Just looking here, Sarah's won 9 Wellington titles, so she's one off getting her bar to a gold star here, which is always a big achievement in Wellington bowls. So it's a little bit of pressure on her, but she's taken it very, very well and playing some great bowls early on here.
Yeah, no doubt we'll be looking to a bit of fortune today after being very unlucky yesterday in that women's fours final not to come away with the title. Beaten on the very last bowl by Tony Central.
It was heartbreak for both the Victoria fours, really, because they both lost on last end, last bowl scenarios in the men's fours against Miramar. And Ben King was going for his 15th title, and I believe he's lost a couple of finals already previous to that, so it's a bit more heartache for him. But the Miramar men played some very, very good bowls yesterday and deserved their win. And I believe it was the first title for Miramar in over 10 years, so fantastic effort for those guys to bring a title back to Miramar.
Here's another example of one of the clubs that hasn't had too much recent success, but bringing a centre title back is fantastic. Yeah, Victoria very much be hoping it's third time lucky. 2 very near misses in the women's and men's fours final.
Oh, great shot from Linda Rayner there.
Fantastic. Yeah, brilliantly played.
She might have found her mojo again. She just sort of lost it a little bit there for a couple of ends. So
didn't have much room to play that shot, but wonderfully executed. Isabel Hassel is lead under Rayner. No, holding 2. And happy with that. Wanted something just in behind.
Very good bowls.
That's what she got.
Well, as they cross over here, I've been texted another update, and we have in the men's singles, Whitby 15, Titahi Bay 6, 15-6 to Graham Ross from Whitby over Brenta Hearn. And Stokes Valley's Nicole Toomey is 20, one shot off the win against Marlene Alberino K from Island Bay, who was on 8. So 20-8 to Nicole. Really good for Nicole. She's just come back from Australia. So after having a successful multi-nations event. Unfortunately, she did get some bad news just last week where she missed out on selection for the New Zealand team for the World Championship. So
yeah, very unfortunate, obviously.
Very unfortunate for her. So this
great way to bounce back.
Hopefully she can finish this game off and enjoy some success after a hard week for her.
It shows great character to do that as well, to bounce back for something like that. A lot of players working to that for so many years. No doubt last few for Nicole. He focused on trying to make that World Championship team, and obviously the Commonwealth Games last year too.
Yeah, she's had an absolutely fantastic last 12 months, and yeah, it would have been hard news to miss out, but it is the calibre of New Zealand bowls at the moment for the ladies. They have some exceptionally gifted players there, and a very young team too. So, and Nicole's still very, very young herself. Like, I think Nicole's only about 27, so she's got many years to come back into the fray. And I wouldn't mind betting that she'll be back within 12 months if she keeps playing the way she is. I think Helen's wanting Sarah to play with a little bit of weight here.
It's the weight she wanted. Didn't quite get the line right to attack the head.
I think she's talking about going back to the draw here. Certainly looks like a draw line. She got the weight here. She's played a screamer. That's a fantastic bowl.
Yeah.
Goes for shot. Wow. No, there's nothing wrong with that side of the green.
Yeah. Oh, don't you love it as well when lead calls it? She must be Helen King's. How good a job's this when the skip just does pretty much what I tell her to do. Yeah, you know, you got a very good player you're playing with.
It's a fair effort too from Isabel, just a little bit too
yeah.
far.
So not quite enough, but it did cut out two because I think they were holding a couple, and Isabel would have made it probably three there, Isabel Hassel. So still a cracker of a bowl from Sarah Takamo. 1 to Tawa. Makes it 9-3. Completed 7 now of the 18 ends. Colin's so quick with the scoreboard, he often catches me out. Rapid. Doing great work, Colin Williams, putting everything together.
Definitely. The whole team at Bowls New Zealand have been fantastic to work with, setting up this live streaming for us. So a big thank you to Mark Cameron, Colin and all your team. Absolutely pleasure to work with, and thank you for letting us showcase our top Wellington bowlers. It's been fantastic.
See the scoreboard in the far corner, it still says 20 to 8, I think. So don't think we've quite reached the conclusion yet in the women's singles final. Or maybe we just have. I think they're still playing.
That looks like they're still playing over
Yeah.
there.
Men's singles final also in progress. Last update we have is Graham Ross Whitby and Brent Ahern of Titahi Bay. And a rink alongside us here, our TV rink, covering this women's pairs final. There's the score, 15-9. You can see Graham Ross Whitby leading Brent Ahern. I think it's tightened up a tiny bit.
It has tightened up a little bit, yeah. I think it was 15-6 before. I think it'll be the first Wellington title for either one of those two players there, so... In contrast, this would be Helen King's 34th Wellington title. It's a remarkable feat, isn't it, that when you think about it, 34 titles if she wins this one today.
Yeah, simply incredible. There was 5 between the Petone Central 4 yesterday, and there was 61 in the Victoria 4. Obviously 33 of them were Helen King. Sarah Takamo would have been a good 20 on them as well, I imagine. But yeah, certainly had the inexperienced Petone Central, but they have all come away with a centre title yesterday. In dramatic fashion too.
Of course, they're all in chasing after the great Judy Howard, you know, who's got 38 titles, I believe, in Wellington Bowls. So,
and King's not far away then.
She's getting there, yeah, for sure, for sure. Incredibly, Judy actually played our Wellington Open singles this year. So I believe she's around 80 years old now. So it was absolutely fantastic to see her on the greens over the Wellington Open singles, and not quite the player she once was, unfortunately, but just out there giving it a go. And that's the beauty of our sport, you know, it caters for everybody. You don't have to be a 25-year-old athletic built person, you know, you can still love and play the game at any age, and that's the beauty of it.
Yeah, as you mentioned before, the rangatahi and everything, it's a game for all ages, bowls, all shapes and sizes. That's what makes it such a great sport.
The Tawa pair have put a couple of good shots in here, so...
Another tightening of the men's singles final alongside us. Now 15-12 to Graham Ross of Whitby against Brent Ahern of Titahi Bay.
I'd imagine there'll be a few nerves in that game there. Playing their first big final. It's quite a good crowd at the end down here. It's watching. Number of Whitby supporters have turned up, and Titahi Bay supporters.
Another text update. The score is it?
No, I was just told that Judy Howard is actually 87 and playing bowls still. So there you go.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely incredible. She's been coming to a lot of our rangatahi events this year and presenting the awards to all the players.
Wow.
So it's been fantastic. And
that's a great way to honour great players of the past, and it's great that Judy still wants to be involved as well.
Yeah, she's absolutely still passionate about our sport. And yeah, Sarah was very unlucky there going through the
yeah, I don't know how that gap was found without taking anything.
Yes, very much.
Urging it on there. Not quite, no.
Just while Helen's got her fingers out there, trying to find who's holding shot, Nicole Toomey has won that game.
Oh, congratulations.
21-8.
21-8 to Nicole Toomey. So Stokes Valley, winners of the women's singles, the Ryman Healthcare Champion of Champions finals. 21-8 over Marlene Alberino Kay of Island Bay. So Stokes Valley joining Petone Central, Miramar, Wainuiomata, Silverstream, Johnsonville, Tawa and Plimerton. Winners at this event this weekend. So is it just the one? So from our angle, two, but measure coming out again.
Yep, the old measure.
When you're talking old, how old you think?
That looks like it's been around about 30 years,
Yeah.
I'd imagine. 30, each one of her 33 Wellington titles, I'm sure.
Well, maybe it's a lucky measure. So 2 for Tawa. Now going to, yeah, I think it's just a 2. And the Rainer just wants to make sure. Umpire, I know. I thought I was going to call him umpire.
Yeah, I thought they were too then.
So, well done, Tawa. Another in for them. .95. Approaching the halfway mark of this women's peers final. I mentioned all the centre titles that Helen King has, and contrast, I think Linda Rayner just the one winner of the Prestige Peers earlier this season.
Yes, yeah.
She was a runner-up in the Prestige Peers 2017-18 season, made a semi-final of the Champion and Champions singles, semi-final of the Prestige Peers, also in 21-22 season, and a runner-up in the Easter 242 Peers. So it's been there or thereabouts. Looking for that second centre title of the season. Whereas Isabel Hassel, a number of club titles, as you mentioned earlier, Blake. And centre titles, none, but has made a Wellington centre final once and semis several times, so she's now through to another Wellington centre final. So certainly the experience and title winning experience on the Victoria side, but as we saw earlier, that doesn't often mean much, can often be irrelevant.
Sure, and Linda Rayner's played indoor bowls for many years, so she's got a lot of experience in the indoor game as well, which I'm sure she'll draw on during today's final.
Oh, thank you, Helen. just saying to Isabel Hassel, get off the centre line just for the camera, please. Not for my benefit. Much appreciated. We really appreciate all the players doing their bit. When they do remember, it can be very hard for them. They haven't been much on the televised rink.
For sure.
Obviously makes it easier for us and those of you viewing at home as well. So just 2 titles to be decided at the Ryman Healthcare Champion of Champions finals then. This women's pairs and the men's singles final, which is playing alongside us. Women's singles going the way of Nicole Toomey of Stokes Valley. 21-8 over Marlene Alberino Kay of Island Bay.
Linda's just been short with 2, and Helen's taken a bit of advantage there and put one on.
Yeah, door was open. Walking through is Helen King. Now, Linda Rayner, the final bowl of this ninth end. They approach the halfway stage of this women's pairs final. That's a great response.
That is a good response. Well done, Linda.
And it's going to
That's a
fall
good
in. They'll
shot.
be shot. This has certainly been the easiest game to call as far as coloured bowls go as well.
Right.
Made it nice and easy. The light blue bowls of Linda Rayner, the pink bowls of Isabel Hassel, very much stick out. And you got the dark blue bowls of Helen King and the black bowls of Sarah Takamo. Very distinct, very obvious which is which. I don't really know how they did it in the day when everyone had black bowls. How everyone remembered what was what when they're trying to call a game.
Seems so long ago,
Oh.
now, doesn't it, when we were black bowls? But it was when I first started, we still only had black bowls. So
Well, there was a game yesterday where nearly all the bowls were black. It was like a bit of a throwback. So it still happens from time to time. And that's what was giving us so many problems. I think I was complaining that two of the black bowls looked too similar, and quickly Sue Wei pointed out what this was. This is how it used to be.
No, it's definitely brightened up the game, the coloured bowls.
Yeah.
Imagine the days when they used to have the white clothes too, you know, and
Yeah.
the shirt and the tie. And thankfully, I never played in those days, but I believe somewhere, a couple of places in the UK, they still actually do that. So,
Wow.
yeah, it's pretty unreal. All right, we have another update from the Whitby Titahi Bay game. So Graham Ross is on 17, Brent Ahern 12. 17-12 to Whitby, and the race to 21 there.
The last update we had was 15-12. I think we looked at the scoreboard. So a couple more to Graham Ross of Whitby. It's the men's singles final just next door to us. She wasn't far away with her last here at the Carmo. This time she's going to unfortunately run into the wide bowls, put it right into the head, and maybe that could be second. Yeah, it does look like second. Very unfortunate there. Wide bowl of Isabel Hassel pushed into the head.
Got the weight here, but I think she was a little bit gun shy of it.
Yeah, didn't want to disrupt what she already had. And King saying to Sarah, do you want to have a look? She's happy. See enough from the mat? Oh, no. Helen said, no, you got to go have a look yourself. I'm not going to describe it for you from down there.
Well, it looks like a weighted shot needs to be played here. I think if she makes contact with the pink bowl, they should both probably split out without moving too much of the others. And I'd say it's probably 3 or 4 third shots that Victoria have here.
Yeah, well, there's 4 bowls for Tawa short of the jack, aren't they?
Yeah. Kitty back through as well was worth 2 or 3 for Victoria, so you wouldn't want to be short to this head.
No, expect some weight to be played here. Always playing with a smile on her face, these two, Helen King and Sarah Takamo. Always laughing, smiling, great to see.
It's what it's all about, isn't it? You know,
Yeah, enjoying themselves.
to have a good time
Yeah.
and enjoy yourself. Definitely playing with weight here. It's
touch narrow maybe. Was she going to get a little feather off the short one? Yeah. Unfortunately, it's not going to change the picture. So 2 more to Tawa. 9-7 now. Victoria over Tawa. And we're halfway through.
Yeah, they're just slowly clawing their way back here, aren't they, the Tawa pair?
It was 9-2, wasn't it?
It was.
A few ends ago. Yeah, started off the front with under Rayner.
Very talented bowling family, the Rayner. The Rayners, obviously Linda's husband Trevor, very experienced indoor bowler, and he's been a member of Tawa lawn bowls for a long time as well. And we all know Dale Rayner very, very well, New Zealand representative. Long time in the Wellington representative colours as well, so one of our top bowlers. And their son, Grant, also played New Zealand indoor bowls. So their other daughter, Karen, also played a very, very good indoor bowl back in the day too. Don't think she plays anymore, but yeah, she was very talented as well. So a very talented bowling family, the Rayners. And I'm sure they're all tuning in, watching, or I think Dale was still actually out here watching, so supporting Mum and hoping she gets through.
Yeah, there's a great contingent earlier watching Island Bay in their final, and hopefully there's a good contingent of Victoria and Tawa club members supporting the women in this pair's final. Likewise for the remaining men's singles final, Whitby and Te Tahi Bay club members.
There's definitely plenty of Victoria supporters out here. I've been seeing them walking past every now and then. So, and of course, Helen's husband Ben, he's very much invested in watching how Helen plays, and both very, very talented bowlers as well. Just lacking a bit of weight.
Yeah, just a metre short, but looked to be on a great track. Here is Dale Rayner.
Dale.
Not too interested, Mum.
No.
Just at that moment. Obviously watched her mum bowl and now moved on.
'We almost had a chance for them to play each other in this final. Dale, of course, losing to Helen and Sarah in the semi-final.
Yeah, 15-12, final score on that one. Yeah. So could have had all Rayner affair in the decider, but wasn't to be.
No. 17-14 over there in that singles game. So Brent's picked up another 2.
Yeah, you get the feeling that's going to go to the wire, that one. Good comeback from Brent Ahern after being down a few early. As you all know, Blake, it's always those last few, which is so hard to come by.
Definitely, yeah. Yeah, they always say the last one's the hardest one, and quite often it is.
Gesturing that it was maybe a touch narrow. Push it out there.
It's probably more weight than anything. Like if she had a bit more weight there, she could have held up.
Linda Rayner there saying to Isabel Hassel, when you come round my wide bowl here and sit in front of the bowl of Helen King. It's just out to the right of the jack. Looks to be doing just that. Oh, brilliantly done. Well, I said it previously about Helen King calling the shots for Sarah Takamo. This time Linda Rayner asking Isabel Hassel to do just that, and she's put it within, well, a few centimetres really of where Linda Rayner was asking for it to go.
Yeah, brilliant shot.
Well executed. Playing with the extra weight, which you call for. Looking for the jack, or maybe a bit of both.
Oh, wow.
Takes away one of the shot bowls, drags the jack back. Brilliantly done.
Brilliant shot, yeah. She had a nice little channel there to play down through and played it very well. Linda will be hoping that Isabel can...
yeah, she's going to need to, because I think Victoria look to have just at least a couple.
Oh, I don't know if she's wide enough. Although...
Look at this.
Look at that. Well done.
Wow, hey, what a bowl that is. Yeah, it didn't look, it looked on a similar line to the previous one, but yeah, slipped through this narrowest of corridors. Now what's Helen King calling for here, Blake?
She's asked to come down on the forehand here, try and set the shot bowl by the look of it.
It's by itself, isn't it? Yeah, Helen King's interested. Oh, unfortunate. Wow, she was merely a few inches away there from taking the shot bowl, moving it away. There'll be one more for Tawa instead. Great play by Isabel Hassel. Good little battle there between the two skips.
Yes, some good bowls there.
10 ends completed, 9-8. Victoria over Tawa. This has been the closest it's been, I think, since we started.
Definitely, yeah.
When Victoria picked up a couple on the first.
Yep.
So it's been 6 in a row for Tawa. Shots from 9-2 down, now 9-8.
Just noticed Con Curtin in the background there before, and he's father to Seamus Curtin, who last week with a host of players from the Wellington area played in the inaugural Oceania Challenge games in Auckland, which pitted a host of Pacific Island nations up against New Zealand under-25 side and a New Zealand Maori side. It was a fantastic event. And Seamus and Finbar actually won 2 gold at that event in the under-25s. They won the pairs and the fours. We had, I'll try and remember everyone here, but we also had Anne Gately, who played for, I think it was Tokelau. She won a silver medal in the singles, and
yeah, Sue Way was mentioned. There's quite a decent contingent of Tokelau players here at the 9i club that were involved in that event.
definitely, yep. There's the managers for the Tokelau side were Ralph Vulu and Sa Olafisio, and they they did very well in the event over up in Auckland. So it was an absolutely fantastic introduction for a new event, international event. So Brett O'Reilly's, I think it was his brainchild. Him and Mark Cameron have done a lot of work getting that up and running. So fantastic for bowls in the Pacific Island region.
Absolutely. Alan King just letting Skip know that bowl did not come back. It's out of play now.
Helen's husband, Ben, also played in the event for Tonga. So I believe there's a point in time when his grandparents lived in Tonga and qualified him through.
Cool.
Yeah, I think his, I don't know the full story, but yeah, so he qualified for the Tongan side. And they're actually looking at entering the World Championships this year. They're looking at doing some fundraising and getting a team together for that. So all the best to the Tongan side there. Helen's played a good answer there, but just missed out.
Yeah, great response after the previous bowl. Oh, that'd be great if you can get, world bowlers can get more those countries involved in the sport. I was talking to Sue yesterday. Obviously, want to get to the Olympics potentially in Brisbane. If it is to happen, it would be Brisbane, you'd think.
For sure, and it would be absolutely great if bowls could actually get through to that. That'd be fantastic for the game.
It's just about spreading it more around the world and outside the Commonwealth.
It's only played very selectively in countries like the United States and Canada, so it'd be great if it did become an Olympic sport. There'd be a lot more money involved in this sport.
Yeah.
And I think the Asian countries that are really taken to it, you look at India at the last Commonwealth Games winning golds and silvers, and I know China are spending lots of money on bowls at the moment. It's always been quite large in Hong Kong. So it's real growth in those regions.
If you get those two countries involved, you've got half the world's population on your side.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, India were absolutely fantastic at the Commonwealth Games. Like that was, it was hard to watch. I mean, they were beating some of our sides, but it was actually really good for the game. And it's hard to think that just 12 years ago or 16 years ago might be that they weren't even playing bowls. So,
yeah. I don't know if there was many greens outside the one that they built for the Delhi Commonwealth Games when they hosted that event.
Oh, wow.
How has that found its way through there? It's fallen out, so I don't think it's changed the situation.
This looks like it's on a good little line.
Yeah, it certainly does. Both the leads interested in this. Let's see where this ends up. Oh, it's just going to be short. fall out. Yeah, there you go.
3, eh?
3 seconds, so they get rid of that blue bowl. Helen King was mentioning Sarah Takamo could potentially pick up a 4 if her bowl stays with the jack as well.
Just a little wide, eh?
Yeah, as Ellen King said, only 1 down.
But it is another one, isn't it?
Yeah, we're all tied up now, so from 9-2 down. Just checking. Yeah, just 1. Confirmation. Linda Rayner just wanted to make sure. Let's have another look. Are you sure? So 9 apiece. Victoria and Tawa now. So Victoria, we're 9-2 up. Tawa coming all the way back. And now about to play the 12th end. All tied up. 7 end shootout.
Had a player that I played a lot with in Australia, and he always said to me the last 6 ends are the money time in the game of bowls. So we're almost there, 9 all. So it's going to be a real humdinger towards the end here, hopefully. Good for us spectators watching. Feels like it's a little bit close, don't you?
Yeah. I've been very lucky with the games that we've brought to you. I don't know who made the selection, Blake, but whoever did deserves a few extra chocolates or something, an extra drink, because they've done very well. There's some great games. Everything's gone down to the wire. There's been no early shaking of hands, and the finals were brought to you. Pretty much all gone to the last bowl.
They're still bowling in that men's game there.
Yeah.
I haven't had an update for a bit, so.
I think I saw it, was it 18-14 or 18-15? I think I saw the scoreboard last time I saw it. There we go, 18-15. Colin Williams, right on cue.
Right,
check
good,
it out. He does it all right. So 3 away is Graham Ross. He's the top of the board for Whitby. It's Brent Ahern. And Graham Ross has led throughout. He had a relatively big lead earlier. Brent Ahern coming back, and as you mentioned, just a 4th-year player, was it? 4th, 5th-year player to a junior?
Brent Ahern, yeah, 4th or 5th, yeah. So definitely good for the Tite Bay club. We've had some amazing players go through that club through the years, and it's good to have another new player. Well, Brady and Logan actually started their bowls at Tite Bay. They've obviously moved on to Johnsonville now, but they started off out there. But some great names in the past. Rex Holmes, Peter Newman, John Connolly, who's still playing.
Wow.
He's still playing. He's been around a long time. Joe October. Some great players from Tite Bay in the past. And Brent's just starting to add to that legacy. Phil Todd too. I should also mention Phil.
You can't leave anyone out now. You mentioned a few names. Really putting the pressure on yourself.
Well, that was a good bowl by Helen. Needed. Still a bit of room though.
Yeah, that's the only issue. It was a great bowl, but still wide open for Isabel Hassel. Towers skip. But Victoria just trying to arrest momentum back here.
Sarah always looks so calm, doesn't she?
Yeah.
She's
the same no matter what.
Yeah, it's unreal.
There'll be the odd little smile every now and then, something that partner will say to her, but that'll be about it. Otherwise, very level-headed.
Yeah. She'll be thinking she needs to try and score here. She won't want to be giving up the lead.
last 5 ends going Tawa's way. Just taking a second look here. Sarah Takamo. Maybe just pausing for a moment with what's happening next door in the men's singles as well.
Lovely ball.
Yeah, certainly is.
She draws another one here. It puts a bit of pressure on Isabel.
Yeah, that was what she was wanting. Second bowl, Isabel Hassel. Oh, another good bowl. Sarah Takamo. There goes the smile.
Yeah. Close.
Great response this, but she's just going to slide by. Unfortunate. Yeah, so
Just waiting for this men's game again as well.
they must be playing on that same side of the ring.
This one looks a bit tighter than the last couple. But it should be enough.
So
Well, that's the way to. Well, that's the way to answer.
yeah,
5 ends in a row,
absolutely.
isn't
Yeah.
it? I think that will be it.
4. Well played. Yeah, great way to respond to having lost the last 5 ends to pick up a 4 on the next. And this is a great position to start those. The business end, isn't it? The last 6 ends of this final with a 4-shot advantage.
So many times when you pick up a number, you drop a number the next end, and it's always something I'm very aware of. So I always really try and back it up with at least a 1 in the next end if you can. So Victoria, very experienced pair. I think they'll be really trying to hone in and make sure they score this end. They'll know that they don't want to be giving back what they've just got.
Oh, it's crucial, isn't it, for both sides. Tawa want to drop another number. They want to get right back in. 5 ends to play. Cut that deficit. Toria looking to consolidate this advantage they've just given themselves. And Helen King was not far away there from dragging the jack.
She didn't want to be there.
No, Isabel Hassel looking on, hoping Linda Rayner finds her range again. Short that bowl as well, short. Going around it is Helen King. And applause from her skip, Takamo. Long think of it. So Skip said you can play either hand because the previous bowl is well short. You can come around it if you want to, but leaving it up to Linda Rayner if she wants to change hand. Looks handy.
It's got to run out.
It just hasn't got the weight.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's an inspired change of hand.
Yeah.
There.
Thought about it for a while, didn't she, as well?
It's quite interesting. My father always said you never change your hand when you're a lead. You always stay on the same hand. I listen to that most of the time, but
just a feather of a touch on that shot bowl of Linda Rayner's. Applause for the men's singles final next door. Graham Ross of Whitby and Brent Ahern from Titahi Bay.
That was two very good bowls from Linda. Not past the kitty, which I'm sure she would have preferred if one of them was passed, but she has put a little bit of pressure on Sarah here.
Yeah, good response after being well short with her first as well.
2015 in that singles game now.
Yeah, so that pause must have been for Graham Ross, Whitby. One shot away from winning that men's singles title for the Whitby Bowling Club. Which would leave this as the only final to be decided, the women's pairs.
This one's well short.
Yeah, can they take advantage of this now? Tawa, Isabel Hassel. Maria miss from Sarah Takamo.
She just wants to be past the head with this.
Yeah, doesn't have a bowl past the head yet, so.
It's probably not where she really intended it, but.
No. And that's what we say when you're on that line. If you're slightly wide, it doesn't seem to come back. It just hangs wide. That's what Hassel just found. She's trying to get behind three bowls of Linda Rayner.
I think Helen's trying to talk Sarah into playing with weight here. Oh no, she's still talking the draw shot.
The grimace there from Takamo as she released that one, so I'm not sure if she's too happy with this, but.
That will definitely stop Isabel playing that backhand now.
Yeah. Looks like she's going to stay on the hand. Let's just decide that under rain that she wants the bowl in front of these two back ones to the right hand side, but
it's a nothing bowl.
Yeah, hasn't got that right. Rare off end for the two skips, isn't it?
Very much, yeah. I would really be looking at playing with weight here if I was Sarah. Kitty in the ditch is worth 4. Takes the game away. Chance for one or both bowls.
Trying again at the draw.
She's a little better here.
Yeah, is this going to...
She's a little better.
Oh, and that falls in. That may just be shot.
That's a great shot. What do I know?
Oh, she obviously committed to the draw, hadn't she? She hadn't got it right the first 2 times, but got the feeling back for the 3rd attempt. Isabel Hassett will be hoping likewise. Changing hand.
She looks tight, but she held tight before, but she's got no weight here, unfortunately.
Yeah, well short, going to end up as short as her previous, so...
Right.
I think, really, both skips will be quite happy not to have dropped a number on this end.
Very much. Yes.
Because it could have been ugly.
It could have been very...
Neither, apart from that one bowl from Sarah Takomo, the others not where they wanted to be.
Well, Sarah does have the shot here. That's an absolute huge bowl in the context of the game.
Yeah, Tawa holding a couple.
Yeah.
And as you said, it's so important. Follow up a big end and score on the next. Not to give the jack and mat straight back. Oh, so cut it to 1. So she got second. Still a good bowl. Unfortunately there for Victoria. Not enough to take the end. So Tawa do get the jack and the mat back. Cut the deficit 3. 13-10 it is now. And we're about to play the 14th end of 18. 2016 next door. The men's singles final. That's Graham Ross of Whitby leading Brent Ahern of Titahi Bay. 20-16. Already had women's singles decided. That going the way of Nicole Toomey, 21-8 over Marlene Alberino Kay of Island Bay. So centre title for the Stokes Valley Club, which Blake will be very happy about.
Very much. It's been good being back here and back at the club.
Yeah, has that been one of the harder things with your role, to not be too biased?
Very much, yeah. As long as bowls is thriving, I'm not worried too much.
Yeah.
I do always want Stokes Valley to win when they can, but yeah, look, bowls is thriving. It's great, and that's my key job really in Wellington now, is to make sure that we do have plenty of opportunities for all players to enjoy the sport. And we've got some pretty cool initiatives that we're looking to introduce next year, and there's plenty around the youth side of the game, but there's also some ideas of getting more of our key members playing the sport too. And we've got a lot of members that are in that over 65 category, and I think it's key to make sure that we cater for those players as well. And we've got some plans in place to do that this season coming up next year. So watch the space. We also want to get more coaching and development for clubs too. So we're putting on a free coaching course this year for anybody who wants to become a coach at their club.
Wow.
So all they have to do is contact me at the office at Bowls Wellington, and I can put their name down. And the more coaches we have out in the clubs, the better it is for the sport. You know, there's quite often people walking through the gate, and if you've got a club coach that they can go and learn from straight away, it's really, really beneficial to your club. The one thing I know from running coaching camps at Stokes Valley is that I've had people come from other clubs wanting coaching, and it's important that we actually have those club coaches around, so we do give everyone the opportunity. And like I say, we've made it free. It is a costing involved normally, but we've made it free, and we just want to try and involve as many people as possible. So like I say, if you are interested in becoming a club coach or a coach around Wellington, get in contact with me, and we'll put you in the right direction.
That's great. I think a lot of sports, you know, they put their focus on developing the athlete and often forget it's quite important to develop coaches as well. They sort of go hand in hand. It's all good developing the athletes, but you need coaches as well to come along with them.
Definitely, you know, no, I was lucky. I had Anton Ferrari, who was my coach all the way through the Blackjacks, and he was absolutely fantastic. He'd come down, and you know, you don't have to be a New Zealand rep to coach a New Zealand rep. You know, you just know how to analyse a delivery and work out together what's going wrong, and Anton was very, very good at that. He's a very good bowler too, don't mind you. I don't want to say he's not he's won plenty of Wellington titles as well, but he was also very instrumental in helping me achieve my goals through the New Zealand side. So Isabel's missed her line again there, and that's about 4 in a row now. She's just sort of lost that zone. She needs to try and find it in a hurry.
Yeah, needs to try and forget about those bowls, doesn't she? Just focus on the next, get that right. Because there's the crunch few ends coming up.
This is great from Sarah. Oh, it's just gone past. Fallen into the Rod Leach trap there. Rod Leach was calling a few yesterday. And I was giving him a good laugh. He'll be giving me a good laugh tonight, don't worry.
Yeah, we're having quite a lot of fun yesterday with Rod. Yeah, the best thing is the camera angles. Having done a few of these games now, you do learn that camera's very deceiving. And don't trust it.
Well, that was a bit of bowl by Isabel. I've waited for it to stop now.
yeah.
Probably got the shot there.
Right on cue as well. As Blake mentioned, last 4 very wayward, not up to her standard.
2017 over there. Another one for Brent. That last one's always the hardest one.
You had a good come from behind win, didn't you, recently? Oh, Rod Leach's ears are burning, already calling Blake. Doesn't want to wait till tonight to give you a hard time, wants to give you a hard time now.
He can wait. Oh.
Trying to get rid of that Isabel Hassel bowl, the pink bowl out to the right. I reckon they might have a few if they do.
I think they might have the whole lot there.
Yeah.
This is a game changer if she gets this. Oh.
Well, don't think she's got Yeah, knew pretty much as soon as she let go of that she got that wrong. Yeah, so very important bowl that from Isabel Hassel. All Victoria bowls around otherwise. So back to 2, 13-11. 4 ends to play. And that's the women's pairs final. And the last 2 titles to be decided at the Ryman Healthcare Champion of Champions Finals weekend. Got the men's singles also taking place next door.
There's Ben King walking in the background there. He's probably all nerves at the moment. Hoping Helen can get up.
I know, in the player profiles that Ross put together, that Ben said his proudest moment was when Helen won the national singles title, and his most memorable moment in bowls. So even though he's done a lot himself, his most memorable was when his wife had the national success. So very much invested in how Helen King goes here.
I remember when she won that title, and it was, yeah, she played fantastic that whole event, and Ben was a nervous wreck the whole way through. It was unreal. So she played a good one here.
Tawa have relied on a couple of good bowls the last couple in getting them a shot. And there we go, right on cue, being one of them. Other than that, they've been a bit all over the rink, so I hope that's about to bring about a bit of a point and change there, that bowl there from Linda Rayner. They start being a bit more consistent, because you know Victoria will pounce.
Definitely.
Almost perfect there from Helen King, getting rid of that shot bowl immediately.
Played with really good weight there though, and she's landed in a really good home, so
looks like we're still going in the men's singles next door as well. Another end's looks like it's completed, so
another shot for Brent.
Yeah. So tighten up further. It's been quite a battle there, hasn't it?
Yeah, good 2 hours.
Yeah.
Good bowl here from Helen. It's going to try and flop on it. Not quite. Great effort, though.
Great effort. 3 really good bowls from Helen King.
Yes.
Second one, just missing the target. Trying to knock that shot bowl away. And then the third nestling right on it. Finding something amusing down there.
Yes.
Sarah Takamo, Helen King and Linda Rayner. Isabel Hassel, they're all focus. Deliver her first, so this is the 15th in. She was worried there for a moment, Linda Rayner, that that was going to disrupt what they've got. Came under line.
Well, Sarah's got all the position here really to just reach up with a little bit of weight here. Doesn't have to have a lot, just look to turn her front blue one on to the bowl, shot bowl. A lot of clapping there in that men's singles game, so something.
Yes. A good bowl from one of them.
Yeah.
Is that maybe a shot bowl from Graham Ross, or maybe a couple more for Brent O'Hearn potentially in the offering? Oh, you can see just on there, just the right of screen there, can't you?
Yeah.
And they're playing a very short end.
And Sarah's close-headed, tipping that one off.
Oh, couldn't have been closer. Could not have been closer from getting a touch there and knocking away the shot bowl because it's on its side.
Yeah.
It's not flat. Can be moved.
Victoria are in all the box seats here with the position on the head, apart from the shot.
It's been a bit of a tale the last couple of ends, isn't it?
Yeah. So Isabel needs to try and match that last one of Sarah's.
Got to wait. Finds the gap.
It's probably going to change Sarah's hand here. Don't be scared of it, Helen says, and I agree, don't be scared of it.
So playing with what, a bit of reaching weight, trying to get a rub off those pink bowls out to the right.
She just plays with good weight here down that channel. There's going to be some options for her. Looks a tad tight here.
Oh, not what they wanted. No, not what they wanted. Now that's two. It's a Tawa.
And it puts Tawa in a lot better position now, so...
Looking quite safe now. And that one bowl was all by itself, but unfortunately for Sarah Takamo, knocking in the Isabel Hassel bowl. Just working out the communication there between Skiff in the lead. Eventually got there.
I think that shows there's a few nerves there.
I think so too.
Well, she's might have played an absolute gem here.
Not far away. Just needed a half a foot more of a roll. And that would have been three.
And a hard three to get at too. This is...
So
she's got to be careful that she doesn't put the pink onto the yellow here, because it could spray it out for 4 or 5 down if she gets it wrong. She's playing with weight.
yeah, I feel they can get rid of one of the shot bowls, but what else will it do is the issue. Yeah, I don't think she likes it anyway.
Well, that's good.
Ooh, almost got that pink you're talking about. So it will be 2 to Tawa, and we are all tied up, and we have 3 ends to play. And surprise, surprise, looks like we're going to go down to the wire again.
Beautiful.
And look, next door, 2019.
2019, wow.
So that's Graham Ross, top of the board, leading Brent Ahern. Whitby up against Titahi Bay. Oh, 20 all, in fact.
Wow.
Well.
We're going to have a winner this end down there.
Yeah. Incredible bowls.
And my bet is that was quite a good
Yeah,
bowl.
by the sounds of the round of applause, that was a good start by the sounds of things from Brent Ahern. And the updates we had previously, Graham Ross was leading throughout. Rather big lead at one stage too. It's a good comeback from...
It's a 15-5 at one point. Just
yeah. Something like that, or 15-6 or something.
15-6 it was,
Yeah.
Yeah. 9 points. Wow.
So 14-5 since to Brent Ahern. Keep one eye on that next door. And one eye on this, which is going to reach a thrilling conclusion as well.
I think that's a good bowl by
Yeah,
Helen.
I get the feeling that it's right in the centre line, because I think that's where Isabel Hassel's standing.
Yeah. Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
We're putting Colin under a bit of pressure here.
Trying to cover 2 rinks once. It's pretty handy that we can see it out to the left of shot there. Yeah, well, this view is slightly obstructed of our rink. We've got a good view of the men's singles final end, 20 apiece. It'll be Graham Ross or Whitby or Brent Ahern of Titahi Bay.
Good shot by Helen there.
Yeah, 2 good bowls from Helen King for front. Victoria.
I think Brent is actually holding the 2 over there. Great shot here by Linda.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Toucher.
Wow.
Great response, because 2 absolute bombs really from Helen King. And then Linda Rayner says, what you can do, I can do better. Final bowler with Helen King. She with the final say of the leads on the 16th end. Oh, look at that.
Wow. We're spoiled here.
Oh, we are indeed. Tempted to take our eye off this match, but we can't. We just can't with the men's singles 20 apiece. And then you see this.
Yes.
And the women's pairs final. Fantastic.
Whitby boys bowling his last bowl here. It's gone past. I believe that's Brent.
I believe so too.
What a fight back that would be.
Yeah, it is indeed Brent Ahern. So, what, 15-6 down to win 21-20. And a title goes the way to Titahi Bay as well. So that's the 9th different club winning a title over this weekend in 9 events. So far today, men's triples going to Tawa, the women's triples going to Plympton, the women's singles going to Stokes Valley and Nicole Toomey, and now Titahi Bay winning the men's singles. Brent Ahern, 21-20 winner over Graham Ross of Whitby. What a final that was. Next door. Now all eyes will be joining us on this game unfolding here. And noticing that this is going down to the wire too. 13 apiece at this stage. 2 ends to play after this. We had a winner takes all 18th and final end of the men's triples final earlier today. You get the feeling this could be the case again.
Sarah's trying hard to get in there, there's not a lot of room though, is there?
Yeah, got a bit untidy there for a couple of ends, and they've brought it right back.
Definitely.
To how this final started, really. Great bowls all round the jack.
Well, maybe a cover bowl going in here, because I don't think she would have wanted that weight into the head. Bit tight here, I think.
Yeah, just going to come under the line before it gets to the head.
They'll be happy to hold one here though, Victoria, I think. Wouldn't want to open that up for Isabel Hassel.
Yeah, Linda Raymer gesturing, needed that to stay out there. Unless he gets a nice inside of a bowl. Doesn't. It's not going to change, so I think it's one.
One to the Helen King bowl, I would have thought.
Umpire. So it's obviously closer than it looks from our angle. Umpire will decide whether it's the Helen King bowl of Victoria or the Tawa bowl of Linda Rayner. Every shot's so important, of course, at this stage. There's 2 ends to play after this.
Definitely. Tawa have never been in front in this game either, so... Another thing my father always used to say, you only want to be in front at the end of the game.
So he preached giving up an early lead, did he?
So precise, those little calipers.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Dead right, and then he'll come to the Linda Rayner bowl.
Definitely the Helen King bowl by the look of that.
Yeah. It's always nice when it goes the way we think this as well.
Indeed. I was lucky I didn't write it down beforehand.
So 14-13 it is. So Victoria ensure that Tawa don't take the lead for the first time. And with 2 ends to play, they have a 1-shot advantage. 14-13, about to play the penultimate end. Victoria were quick out of the blocks early. They had 9-2 after I think it was 6 ends. And Tawa came back, won the next 5 ends, tightened it right up, and it's been pretty close from that moment.
Someone's doing these little tiny steps up the green, they're trying to work out where they want to put the mat. They're sort of stuck on that mid-length after the
first couple of ends, wasn't it? Yeah. Well, they had a bit of success, but then they dropped a couple of shots, and they decided from that moment against it. I think that was maybe the 3rd or 4th end. Tawa got on the board, and from that moment on, we haven't seen the full length, or close to full length anyway. Certainly would be the full length on most greens. Matt was a couple of metres up, and the jack was all the way on the 2 metre mark.
Just see Ross Gillett walking in the background there, and I just want to mention he's been the tournament manager for the weekend this weekend, and he's been doing an absolutely fantastic job. And I know since I've been in the job here at Bowls Wellington, he has made my life so much easier with his organisational skills and his knowledge of the game too. So I think it's worthy to mention him. Very important part of the Bowls Wellington cog.
Yeah, and he's provided all these wonderful bios of every single player as well, which have brought to you over the weekend. There have been hours of work from Ross, so I really appreciate that as well. Well, looks of things, Blake, got a good little team here, Bowls Wellington.
Definitely, yep. We added one new one this year, Hamish Ryan, who won the junior singles yesterday. He's helping Brady with our youth program, because it's just sort of getting bigger and bigger. It's absolutely fantastic. I just mentioned Nuka Ora for the fantastic work they've done in allowing us to have these people work with our young community of bowlers, because without their support, we wouldn't really have that. So they allow us to do what we get to do, and it's fantastic. This is a really good head shaping up here. You can tell this is a business end of the tournament.
Yeah, everyone's switched back on again. Slightly short that one. Helen King doesn't like that one, but otherwise, 2 leads have been spot on. Good little group in around the jack.
Trying hard here, Linda. Just going to duck under. There's still lots of bowls on the head there, so lots of things for the both skips to play to here.
Yeah, just one an effective bowl. The rest are all in play.
Good, the Tawa skip there. Scott has stuck around to watch his ladies play the final here. Scott Johnson, sorry.
Yeah, well, hoping for a Tawa double here.
Great shot from Sarah here. That's fantastic bowl.
That's a brilliant bowl. Right behind the jack. Putting all the pressure back on Isabel Hassel for Tawa.
She just not quite the weight there. Bit of a nothing bowl, that one.
Yeah, I think a bit shy. Didn't want to disrupt what she had. Finding a home alongside the earlier Helen King bowl.
Isabel's got more weight here. This is right in the area.
Both the leads. No, this is going to do something. And it gets the
that's a
jack.
great
What a
shot.
bowl that
Wow.
is. Wonderfully played.
Definitely. It looked like two to me, straight off the bat.
Yeah, 2 down. Here's Helen King. Well, could Tawa take the lead for the first time going to the final end? Follow your dad's adage.
It's wide enough to be good enough.
Yes, not a bad effort playing to a tricky part of the green. Look at this from Sarah Takamo. Oh, wonderful. And that is shot.
Fantastic bowl.
So much riding on that. Tawa holding a couple. Bowl to play themselves. Chance to really make it 3. Take the lead by 2 going the last 10 instead. Sarah Takamo says, no, I can get this. I can draw this. And does. Now, what can Isabel Hassel do in reply?
She's close.
Yeah, interested as Linda Rayner. Has she got the jack again?
Wow.
She does! Wow. What a couple of bowls from Isabel Hassel. It's just the one. But what a bowl that is.
Brilliant.
Oh, the skip's putting on a show. That was a quality end. Say there was, what, 2, maybe 3 ineffective bowls. The rest were spot on. So we're all tied up. And again, surprise, surprise, we have a last end shootout to decide this contest. The women's pairs final. Our last title to dish out at the Ryman Healthcare Champion of Champions finals.
Well, we've been lucky with these games, haven't we? It's been unreal.
It's been amazing. This never happens. Yeah, each of the 4 finals we've had on our TV ranks have come down to the last end, and 2 of the 3, the last bowl, has decided it. Been very lucky. Let's just hope we get a repeat of that last end. What a way to finish it that would be. Get that kind of drama, that kind of execution from all 4 players on show. So Linda Rayner was short. Now Helen King has an opportunity to be first on the jack here. She's going to be just in behind, but we saw last end. It's quite handy to have one in behind when there's jack movement like there was.
For sure. All the Tawa boys in the background there at the bar,
Yeah.
watching nervously.
And a pretty good tournament for Tawa. Of course, they made the semi-finals of the men's 4. They won the men's triples earlier today. Now the Tawa women trying to win the pairs. Trying to become the only club to pick up more than 1 title at this event.
And this is a great,
Oh, look at that.
brilliant.
And applauded by those Tawa men watching on.
All the experience shine through here from Helen.
Yeah.
Helen's
Oh,
Brilliant reply.
oh, this is great. This is an exhibition here. There's a bit of a wry smile because it's almost like every time they play a good bowl, they have to do it again straight after that. One's not enough. You have to back it up.
Oh, she's pulled up short
Yeah.
there. That's not what she wanted.
Alan King jogging down the green. Have a good look at the picture here. Preparing to play her last bowls and taking a bit of extra time over it. Fair enough. Mentioned before the centre titles. Helen King with 33. Sarah Takomo with
9.
Yeah, 9 in Wellington and 1 in Whanganui as well. And then in contrast, very inexperienced Isabel Hassel looking for her first
Close.
centre title.
Oh, wow.
Oh, so close. Wanted a bit more on that to knock it in for shot. And Linda Rayner won previously. A few centre titles. Well, certainly nothing like the number the Victoria combination have.
Some very nervous fans there. A mixture of both Tawa and Victoria down the end. Victoria down the end there and Tawa up the front here. Some nervous anticipation.
It shows how much it means, not just for the players, but just for the clubs as well. This event. What a way to finish this tournament.
That's a very, very good bowl again.
Oh, yeah. So it's completely over to the skips now. Leeds have done their bit. And both of them, Linda Rayner and Helen King, have played some absolute stonking bowls today.
Brilliant, brilliant leads display. Sarah won't be happy with that. Like, probably had just the weight. Still doesn't look phased though, does she?
No. Quickly forget about that. Move on to the next. No point dwelling on it.
Isabel staying well clear now.
I think just wants to make sure she's still on the green.
I think it might have gone in.
Yeah.
No. Well, she's going to leave it for her last.
Yeah. This is the way this tournament's been. It's been about those last bowls. This is the last for Isabel Hassel. Holding shot on this deciding 18th and final end.
Well, I thought she needed to be behind the kitty here.
Yeah, Sarah Takomo does manage to execute here. You wanted to have some of the back bowls. They don't have any.
None. And they're looking at this forehand shot, I think, to get onto the kitty, just around that front blue. Get onto the kitty, and they've got everything behind, so they don't have to worry.
It's all down to Sarah Takamo now. Can she execute?
Cool as a cucumber.
Yeah, you wouldn't know how much is riding on this bowl from looking at her, that's for sure. Trying to win that 10th centre title in Wellington. Here she goes. She's close. If she gets a bit of fortune. Oh, hasn't moved it enough. And Tawa, hold on. And Tawa are the women's pairs champions. Well, she's a bit wide, but she got a bit of fortune off that wide bowl. It changed the head, but not enough. And her first centre title to Isabel Hassel. And her lead, Linda Rayner, gets another.
Oh, there's Trevor.
Oh, brilliant. Trevor Rayner joining in to celebrate with his wife. Fantastic. And a second title of the day for Tawa. Congratulations to them. Took the men's triples earlier this afternoon. Now taking out the women's pairs. And what a way to finish this tournament. Again, is decided on the final bowl. We had to wait till the final bowl to decide this. And there's a nice little moment with the Tawa Club. The men's triples champions. Now the women's pairs also champions. Also members from their men's four joining in the celebrations. But a big congratulations to Isabel Hassel, Skip, Linda Rayner, the lead. They are your women's pairs champions from Tawa, winning 15-14 over Helen King and Sarah Takamo of Victoria. Second title of the weekend for Tawa, and what a way to complete our action here at the Ryman Healthcare Champion of Champions Finals. Blake, just your final thoughts on what's been not only a great final, but a great weekend?
Absolutely fantastic weekend, you know, and to have 9 different clubs win the 10 titles is just absolutely astounding, you know, and this is what you love to see, you know. Linda's there with tears in her eyes, absolutely rapt to win that title, and that's why we love to have these events. I'd also just like to say a big thank you to you, Brenton, who's come in and commentated for us. Absolutely fantastic job, and always a professional. So thank you very much to you and to Bowls New Zealand, and of course our major sponsor, Ryman Healthcare, who without their help this event wouldn't be able to go ahead. So yeah, absolutely brilliant.
Always a pleasure, Blake. Look forward to coming back another time and calling more bowls action. But that does complete our coverage here. Big thank you also to Colin Williams for all his stellar work putting this broadcast together over the weekend. And a big thank you to you, Blake, and all the Bowls Wellington staff as well for how they've helped put this together and joining me in commentary as well. As we say, a very good afternoon to everyone. I'm Brenton Vinnisroy signing off from 9i Bowling Club.
What is the measure of a full life? Is it seizing the day? Appreciating the little things? Family, joy, love, no regrets. At Ryman, we believe a full life is one that gets richer with age, with communities that challenge the expectations of aging and bring joy and meaning to every moment.